So what if I want to learn how to ride a motorcycle and I didn't start as a kid or teenager? Am I just out of luck?
As a matter of fact, the first-time biker is usually a 42-year-old white male.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So there's still hope for me.
There is. And as a matter of fact, I know of this class you can take.
Sounds good.
You want to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's ride. Hi, we're here with Rick Becker today. And Rick, tell me, where are we?
We're in Simi Valley, California, at Motorcycle Rider Education's range portion of the activities. Everybody from a person who's never sat on a motorcycle before to people who are trying to brush up on their skills a little bit and get a little bit more advanced techniques. I think that everybody should take the course just as an introduction to motorcycle riding because it teaches you the basic techniques that are necessary to get around town safely, as well as some of the more important accident avoidance skills.
What made you decide to ride a motorcycle?
My girlfriend rides bikes, so I wanted to ride with her. You know, driving every day, I see motorcycle riders, and it relatively looks easy. You'd think it would be as easy as riding a bike. However, it's much more in depth than you would first think. You know, both hands and both feet are involved, and all of them needed to be working in unison in conjunction with each other.
Oftentimes when a person has not driven a manual vehicle before, something that has gears that you select, it can be clutch control and then gear selection, then on into actual turning and the difference between counterweighting and counter steering. That transition can often be difficult for new riders to comprehend and really understand.
The hardest thing is making very tight turns in very small spaces. So far, the funnest thing has been going into third gear. I actually just purchased a bike. It's a Buell Blast. It'll be my first bike. It's a 500cc. It's more of an upward sitting posture, and it seems a little bit more comfortable than some of the street bikes, having to lean on your hand. So this was my first bike. I'm going to be riding through the canyon down on PCH and back in Hidden Valley. More of recreational usage in nice scenery setting as opposed to city streets with a lot of vehicles. I'm going to be a recreational rider on Saturday and Sunday, so this is why I'm getting into the sport. I couldn't imagine riding a motorcycle without this course. I would thoroughly recommend this to every motorcycle rider.
A lot of the statistics show that motorcycles trying to override their own abilities is what leads to most accidents. For example, entering a turn too quickly for their skill set, or second guessing their skills while they're in a turn. Taking everything at baby steps, understanding your skill set, and repeatability is what I've found really helps increase motorcyclist skills.
Cool, so slow down.
So what was the purpose of taking this class today?
Well, I've been out of the recreational end of it for about 10 years and let my license expire and decided that I want to get back into it again, and I felt this was a good way to do it. I was recommended by friends to learn some new skills. I'm kind of an old school rider, and so I went ahead and enrolled in the program.
So was this actually easier or harder than you thought?
It was actually easy. You have to listen to the instructors, do as they say. If you do exactly what they say, it's relatively easy. My biggest, I think the biggest hump that I had to overcome here is my old skill set, kind of the old school stuff, because that's not how you ride now, and there's been a lot of changes in the techniques.
Yeah. So what was the most fun thing today?
The most fun thing, I think, was doing the box. I think that was going to be my biggest challenge, and I breezed through that with like a piece of cake.
Great.
So here in Southern California, we're very fortunate because we can ride year-round. But as we know, a lot of our friends and colleagues, they have to take a break during winter. So when they come back in the spring and want to get into riding again, not only do they have to gear up their bike and change the oil and so on, but give us some tips of what they should be doing to get themselves into shape for riding again.
Well, as far as a skills refresher after a little period of time off the bike, I think there's a lot of techniques and skills that should be practiced, specifically braking exercises, making sure that you can come to a quick stop using that firm progressive squeeze, not holding the lever still at any given point, as well as focusing on your counter steering again at higher speeds, making sure that you're comfortable getting the bike to lean and leaning with the bike. Also looking through turns. I find a lot of people have a tendency to get a little lazy with their head turns over periods of inactivity.
So this sounds great. How do I sign up? How much does it cost, and is there a waiting list and all that?
Well, the waiting list varies according to the season. Of course, in the winter months, at least in California, there's going to be a smaller waiting list because not so many people want to ride in the rain, but we do still teach in the rain. Summer months, the waiting list has a tendency to grow, but it's never more than 2 months-ish. Cost is $235, state mandated for everyone 21 and over. For individuals 21 and under, this course is required to get your motorcycle M1 license, and therefore they subsidize it and take it down to $150.
What's it like now being a free man with your own bike and your own license?
Well, it hasn't been long, but it's been very enjoyable riding in these back canyons and Hidden Valley and stuff, and actually took it down to PCH is very exciting. Motorcycle riding has been actually much different than I expected. You know, I've been riding a bicycle since I was 4 years old, and my first vehicle was a stick shift, and now that I've combined the two, it's actually much more difficult than I expected. I thought I'd catch on a little bit faster. However, you know, I'm taking my time to make sure that I'm safe while doing this. You know, every sense of mine is basically stimulated when I'm riding a motorcycle. It feels like you're living life and experiencing all these things at a faster pace than, you know, riding in a car, because riding in a car is more like a little bubble, basically locks out the rest of the world and kind of isolated from the elements around you. So I initially got into this sport because my girlfriend actually got me into it. She used to ride with her brother and her father. However, we're no longer together, and you know, I'm actually really happy that she got me into this sport because you know, I've now lost a girlfriend. However, I've developed a new passion and a new actually outlook on life through motorcycle riding. Well, anyways, thanks Christine. Bye Christine. Let's ride.
Okay, so here we are with Jack Epling from the course a few weeks later, and how does it feel?
It feels great, fantastic. Get out, ride, and not have somebody watching over your shoulder while you're riding, and go where you want to go, do what you want to do. I love it. That's what I was actually, you know, that was my goal, is to be able to get out and ride. It's just the freedom thing. This basically for my wife and I to take off on the weekends, you know, for an afternoon ride, or you know, ride up the coast, or just for a jaunt within town. Just for two of us to have our own time together, and to be able to you know, get out in the open and get out of the house and enjoy you know, everything that's all around us, and you know, out in the nature, riding up in the mountains, and doing things that we want to do with the two of us. It gives us our private time. A lot of the things that I learned in the course, a lot of the safety things, the awareness, I find that I'm more aware when I'm riding now. I look at everything from a different perspective than I maybe did 10 years ago. It'll make me a better rider and safer, keep me safe.
I hope these beginner riders wear the proper gear. I don't want to see anyone in t-shirt going down the freeway.
Yeah, I hear you. But I've seen this new gear. It's like an airbag for motorcycle riders.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to see it?
Sure. Let's ride. So we're here with Sylvia Trujillo from Air Protect. Hi, Sylvia. Tell me about your company and your product.
I'm with Air Protect International. We're currently launching a new product here, a nationwide, that not only protects you, but has a unique inflatable air cushion the moment you hit the ground.
So you're saying this is like an airbag for motorcycles?
Correct.
who started this product and where did it come from?
The product was invented by Kenji Takeuchi. He had an accident. During that accident, he just realized that he needed to find a different way to protect himself but enjoy riding. He's been perfecting it for 10 years, and what we're currently doing is introducing it here to the United States. Police riders in Japan and Paris are currently using the product. Air cushion is triggered, and then the airbag inside of it instantly inflates. It protects your neck, your internal organs, your back, and your tailbone. This is our EU model, which is a long touring jacket. It has a high collar. It's longer, and it has a removable liner. Of course, our jackets are water repellent.
It feels great. Feels like a nice winter jacket.
We have extra protection for your elbows. We also have extra protection for the shoulders.
This is great.
This is how you could tell when it needs to be replaced.
So we're back to square one. That took a whole of 5 seconds. But we already know how to ride. What's our next step?
I've heard about a track school. You can practice your skills on a racetrack, but it's still a school.
Oh, okay. But then you need a track bike.
Yeah, and I saw the paper yesterday. I found a used sport bike I want to get.
Okay, let's go.
Let's ride. So we're here with Reg Pridmore at Streets of Willow and his class ride school. So tell me, Reg, what do you do here?
Teach people to be better street riders if possible. We've got the total control of the track, which is a safe environment to practice, and basically I pass along, shall we say, techniques that help them understand the bike better and get more fun out of motorcycling, but at the same time keep them a lot safer for street riding.
So what type of people come here? What type of riders come here?
All kinds. We get a lot of people in their sort of later years that feel like they've been doing it for so many years. Why would I do it now? And it's kind of sad because the bikes have moved up a lot and the people don't move up. And if you don't start catching up with it, sometimes the bikes can override the person. It's good to see people in their 30s, 40s and 50s responding to a little bit of informative information. Yeah. And if you start to gather all the information about what makes the motorcycle work and how you can work together as a team, that's when the fun really starts. And that's where I come in. I teach people how to work with their motorcycles and understand what it is the bike expects of you too. People want to turn the key and expect the bike to do everything. It doesn't work that way. Most people view the track as being a place where people go to race and do bad things and ultimately die. That is not the case here. We have a controlled environment. We don't have any SUVs or buses or big trucks interfering with their progress. So this is much safer to practice here. So although it spells track, it spells safety, and it allows us to pull out some of the bad things that you're doing and allows us to feed in some good stuff so that you can ultimately put the picture together for yourself. Scale of 1 to 10, MSF is down there. We send a lot of people to MSF just to get the experience, just to see if they like it. And then we can sort of take over. If they're into it and they want to learn more, then we can take over on level 2, 3, 4 and all the way up. So that's what we do.
Well, it sounds great. Thanks, Reg. I'll be back soon.
Oh, great.
All right,
Happy to
see
see
you.
you.
My son said, "Dad, you'd probably benefit if you went to track school." So I was a bit in trepidation about it, but once I got here and got used to the track, it was fine. I've got the slowest bike on the road here because it's an old single, but it'll do 80 on the straight there, and it'll go quick around the corners, which is enough to break my old bones, you know, if I tip off. Yeah.
Is this your first time doing track school?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And what's it like out there?
Well, for a start, it's different. You know, you got to realise you're not on the road, and learn to take a line, and not pull in front of anybody else, and learn to ride, as Reg says, to ride smoothly. But once you get used to it, for a start, it's a bit scary, I guess. But once you get used to it, it's not too bad at all.
So what's your advice to anyone on the fence thinking that they might want to do this but they're a little intimidated? What would you tell them?
Give it a go.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Eric.
So tell me, you're at track day. Is this your first time?
Yes, it is, and it's really intense, but I'm loving it. It's wonderful, so much fun.
How long have you been riding?
2 years. I was nervous. I was really nervous, but I was just concentrating, and once I did a lap around the track, it was easy. It was just like being in the canyons, really. Reg is phenomenal. He's really understands, what's going through your head, and I really think that riding, period, is more in your head than in your body, and he's extremely helpful with that. Anybody can do this. There's no rush. All the roads will be there next week, next year. There's no hurry.
Are you going to come back?
Absolutely. I can't wait. Let's ride.
Okay, so we're on our way to pick up my new sport bike, Drive Speed 4 600cc, and I'm going to use it to do track day. So here we are, beginning of the day. Let's see what's gonna happen. It's gonna be exciting. After Reg had explained the rules of the day, we all went out to the track, lined up and waited. Many were there for the very first time, and the mood was exciting and a bit nervous. We all followed Reg on his little scooter. He took us around the track, stopped here and there to point out things to look out for. Next up was a follow the leader exercise, the leader being one of the instructors. We took turns being right behind him or her to best see the lines through the curves. I can't believe it. Amazing. First time around ever. What a thrill. What a rush. To go round and around might seem a bit boring to an outsider, but it is a unique chance to practice your technique, since you get to know what's going to happen around each bend. Check out this instructor. What a great example of where your head is supposed to be looking, and his outside arm is relaxed through the curve. Compare that with this student who does not turn his head through the turn, and also his outside arm is tensed with the elbow pointing straight up. I was surprised at how many different types of bikes were here. Everything from big cruisers to fast sport bikes. See how easy it looks when the instructors shift their weight through the turns, effortless. Not only could you get advice and pointers from all the instructors, you could also get professional help with your suspension setup by the legendary Dave Moss, who had set up his van as part of the track school. I'm trying to remind myself to relax my outside arm through the tight turns by waving it up and down, checking that I'm not tensing up.
So it should allow you to relax and think more about what you're doing on the track rather than think about the motorcycle. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, what an adrenaline rush to be at the track. But you know, they kept talking about going off the pavement into the dirt, into the desert, as if it would be a really bad thing. I have to admit, I'm kind of curious.
So am I. I mean, now we've tried the track school. Let's take a dirt bike class.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. But I have to wait till tomorrow. I'm really tired.
Yeah, you're probably right.